Welcome back to the Path to Zion podcast, where we are rediscovering the ancient way. Thank you so much for tuning back in today for an audio-only program. And you can always find us on Facebook, YouTube, everywhere else, and reach out to us anytime at pathtozionpodcast@gmail.com. Today, we're going to talk about seasons. Now, whether in great or small measure, we all see them, seasons. In our region, here where I live in the southeast, they're more noticeable. Summers are green and lush, and trees and tall pasture grass covers the hills around where we live. Leaves turn a beautiful array of colors, and the grasses turn golden in the fall time, in the autumn. Next thing you know, days become shorter, and sadly, skies begin to often turn gray. Temperatures drop, and snow begins to frequently fall. After all lay dormant for the season that the Creator determines, all will spring to life again. Our cattle will graze what He provides under beautiful blue skies, as spring winds will blow quite regularly here where we live. So in this thumbnail photo that you see here on your screen, this is our garden area just a couple days ago, maybe 10 days ago now at the most. As we were receiving yet another measurable snow, there really just wasn't much to see as you look at the photo here. I doubt that there were very many others in our immediate area posting photos of their gardens as I did ours. It's simply not the time to show off a beautiful garden space, obviously. Well, why is that? It's just not the right time. It's not the right season. Most everyone can grasp that as you look at this photo, or if you live in an area where you get significant snows and colder winters. It's easy to tell. When you walk outside, you put on your coat or coats, and you go outside, you realize this is a distinct season. This is distinctly different than the spring and the summer. Now, let's shift into spiritual matters, shall we? Sometimes all of us have been guilty of not rightly perceiving the seasons of life. I think that is all of us. All of us have been guilty of that at some point. Most of us have been taught that we're supposed to be walking in some upper echelon of spirituality at all times. Anything less than this is a bad testimony, right? No one wants to be the stumbling one when all seems dormant and dead. No one wants to be the one fighting to believe and continue on trusting in dry and barren, dry, quiet, silent seasons. We've bought into a system that shames us for struggling, and it's been horribly detrimental to the body. Of course, it would be wonderful if it were always sunny and 75 degrees with a light breeze, spiritually speaking, but guess what? It's not. And it's meant to be this way, friend. In those seasons, we're postured to be trained to endure well. Here, in these times of dormancy, of quiet, we can allow our roots of trust to go deeper. Now, I'm not suggesting that our spiritual lives should always be, spiritually speaking, metaphorically, tracking tornadoes with hurricane-force winds, but let us be sure that we are ready to embrace the seasons. Those of us who memorialize and remember Father's wonderful feasts see this clearer than ever. His appointed times, his seasons, the Hebrew word moedim, we talk a lot about here on the program, they are an incredible cyclical pattern of his plan, always unfolding year after year, season after season. They look back and they point ahead, all while in present moment we receive the blessing of celebrating Father's seasons, a pattern that he set forth all the way back in Genesis chapter 1. The natural and the spiritual come alive in some unified dance of sorts. Just as Passover, it's going to be arriving here soon in weeks now, is a perfect example. We in our home and so many others all across the earth, they will celebrate our freedom from captivity unto life as the earth itself bursts into color and vibrancy. We have no need for New Year's on January the 1st because it is not a new year. according to the cyclical appointed times, seasons calendar of the Creator. The ongoing imagery of Father's seasons is wonderful, and we see this front and center with His feasts, His festivals, His celebratory appointed times. Just as we might expect a perfect Creator would plan. So time moves on, and the question here today is just very simply and very, very briefly, how about you? Are you embracing the present moments of the seasons of your life? Some may be dark, some may be quiet. Some may be full of more trials than you feel like you can bear, yet you are struggling to believe that the Scriptures are in fact true. Friend, I'm here to encourage you that that's okay. I often tell my son, who is moving into more mature stages of life, that, son, it's okay to question the Father. It's okay to struggle to believe. It's okay to doubt. It's okay if we are pursuing His face, His presence, His word, His truth. If we are asking questions as a son asks a father in trust to the best that we can muster in something that is bigger than us, beyond us, which points us back to the series we just concluded, talking about what? The beauty of covenant. And one of the pieces that we talked about within that series was this is something much bigger than us individually. Yet the Father sees and remembers and takes mind of His covenant people. So I would say we need to embrace these moments that come and hopefully go. Some may surely seem longer than others, but change is always coming sooner or later. Even if some won't be until there's a new heaven and a new earth that is yet before us, all will be made new one day. Just like our snow-covered and frozen garden today, no matter how it looks, it will come to life again. It is a sure thing within Father's cyclical patterns and seasons. All that it needs today is time. Time to rest. Time to patiently prepare for a day that is yet ahead, but is coming in increasing measure. So, like this, may we all endure well in Father's wonderful seasons. You've been listening to the Path to Zion podcast. We're rediscovering the ancient way. Amen.